there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Can you hear the waves calling? Let's see.
Yango, aje tawa, tira rapiki, zizatiarianu.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days.
Toi?
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He can't tell you much as he didn't want to hear anything about it. He can't understand how someone could be so vicious, even though he knows there are reasons behind it. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He understands why you seek revenge, but he doesn't think you realize how that'll make you feel once you claimed it.
See? On my side. Go, dog, go!
First instincts can be truly awful.
The fun thing is always the right thing.
Next time, look at it with a clear heart.
Duckly duck duck.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Hit the open surf, then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends. Figures the world is a goner. Even the goo will go gone. Wishes you hadn't done so much to make the goo even gooier. Wonders why you're flapping around with the Jagni. They spend too much time nesting to do anything fun. Thinks you're only proving his point. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. It's not that it won't keep your head above the surface, but it needs improving to carry you across the thick goo out by the porky puff. You can't really understand your story till it's done. Just keep climbing. Just a few moves left. Make them count. On the home stretch. Better get moving before the day passes you by. almost too easy. Running low. That paid off. Let's pocket that. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. We're all heroes of our own stories, or so we hope.
Mukamme. Sairuja. Manutai baradrade.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He's not sure, but the quacks are probably a leftover from a cargo surfer that went under in the olden days. The squeaky material must have made them surface when their box broke. Breathe in that day shine. Lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see what they cared about here. Wonder if any of it matters now. In the old days, this was a port for boats that went under the surf. They helped clog the surf into goo. Toxanol didn't do it on purpose, I don't think. Their machines made a mess, though, and they never cleaned up after themselves. You should be able to find a track here, just need to keep your eyes open. Hey, you found the track, even around all this goopy goo. Nothing escapes your googly eye. The surf here looked cleaner when that track was made. Old world dive pods had a built-in air supply, so you could breathe below the surf. Glad you had the patience to learn more about how the surf got gooed. So bright out now. Feel that thing thrum? Welcome to the Surf Archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy groove. Flash the slash. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. Try not to get turned around in the dark. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery, when day can become night, and the other way around. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. Great shot. There's a serenity about. snazzy hatter. The Mitomop outpost. The
Nu så prinser
says they've been waiting for you. They're ready to bring death and destruction to the outpost.
Penne Lassie taler som os savtigt.
They scouted the outpost last night. It seems like a challenge you'll be able to overcome.
Lad for eller matzo peso så.
Says scouts spotted a moth nest close to the outpost. If you destroy that, the moths should infest the place, looking for a new home.
Pennelinde sit down. Lad det nu mig fejl under fejl.
Figures the moths will drive everyone in the outpost nuts. That's when you dive in. That's the moth nest, over there. It's a wild sensation to be away from the open air. Just get to it and destroy it. Right in the face. And slash. Tapped hard. Pow! Watch it. Carving it out. Hope that was a bad guy. Half-lifed. close encounter. Nice work. No more moth's nest. There go the moths toward the outpost. They're good and mad. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Heads up. He says you did a great job capturing the rival's second outpost. You've earned the privilege of wearing the tribe's colors. Thinks your foes will flee before you can reach them. Can't waste your time watching the scenery. Hold on tight. This is a quarrel spot. So many wars have been fought over this patch of dirt. What a waste. Hot man. Down to half your health. Whoosh! Slashing dash. That's a flesh wound. Starting to add up. That's going to leave a mark. Do you feel safer or more exposed in the dark? enjoyed that. The Domp outpost, shined up by the Myriad tribe. Blasting everything to bits. Swoop. Took care of him. There's the Sovereign who runs this outpost. He didn't expect his outpost to be invaded, but now that you're working with their rival, he can see why. He would have preferred if you could have solved this without violence. At least a peaceful solution has a chance, while a violent one never has. It's their last line of defense. Once their guardian falls, they'll surrender. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost and believes the rival is weak enough to engage them at their fort. Says they won't stand a chance against you. The day is always brighter. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. Let's see.
Ja.
He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Guesses he does, but it's a long life in a wild world. Sometimes he's shaken, not stirred. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wants to know if he could point you towards something fun to drink, so that you could share with the tipsy tipster. You sure look like you could use a drink. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Says you should toast the end of the world, but you'd better hurry. It's coming soon. Respects how you take care of yourself first instead of trying to swallow too much. Thinks it's funny you wound up with the Jagni. They drink so little, like birds. Guesses someone has to be, but he can't swallow the sight of it. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. Figures the real problem is finding something to drink. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. Says he's not sure you can. Physically, that is. There's no squeeze in the world able to counteract his expansiveness. Says you should hunt for Wiz in the Surf Search Factory. Understands you have things to do. Careful of the goo. gun it and go. Nothing better than a day on surf.